You have card? Okay. So, of course, I was just here and beat you for narrative podcasts. I'll come on later and when they start. So, this is Dr Afshan Hashmi night from her uh, right from her docu series, and I'm here at podcast moment, and I'm trying to be live from here with Dr. Afshan Hashmi's docu series.
Are you live streaming?
Oh,
Are you live streaming?
yeah.
Okay.
I have a radio and a TV show.
Oh, you have a TV show?
Yeah, a radio and a TV show. I do live streaming. So this will be syndicated worldwide to 300 million listeners. Oh, you're from Switzerland?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah, we have a narrative podcast.
can I have your card, please?
I don't have a card, but you can scan.
Just wait.
Oh,
I'm from BC too.
oh, really?
Yeah.
What company or podcast?
I have my own company. I can come and be in conversation with you or anybody. So here I am giving my contacts, to someone. And,
So put in there, but you can also find me in the app as well.
okay, you can scan my card.
There we go.
Five is bigger than zero, so you can return
Great.
Thank you. So folks, here it is. I don't know when they will start. So we are just waiting for them to start. So I will end the podcast. I was thinking, but no, she's coming. This is so let's see what she has to say.
Hi everyone. So, this is simply a strategy for if you haven't taken a video all along as you doing your investigation or pilot interviews for your long-term narrative, what can you do? So I have some solutions that I want to formulate because we've had projects where we didn't shoot a single second of video while doing the project and then realize on the back end, oops, we need social media, we need presence. So these are some strategies that I learned today. Hopefully they're helpful. Like I said, I'm hoping that you can take questions. So if you do shoot a second video and you're like, come to the end of your project, about to launch, and you have no video, these are some things that you can do. There's a Q&A, the walk and talk, the show something, audio photos, also known as audio rooms, and the monologue. So let's start with Q&A. Sorry about the thumbnail. Or take Holly. So this is what I like to call a Q&A because it can be a host interviewed by another host. If you have a friend that's also a podcaster and you know that they're good at interviewing, you can have them interview you about excellent. For example, we can ask you something compelling about excellent. Hey, you know that time when somebody heard a scream in the woods and saw a woman tied to a tree, they called the police and didn't go help them. And tell me about that. So that is compelling back and forth between the host and the other host. Or in a lot of cases, I like an audio piece, somebody who's worked on the show to ask those questions because they are very familiar with the material. And in our case, all the journalists themselves. It's best if you're in the same location, but it's not necessary to Zoom or website RFM and response to and catch that stuff. This was actually done by full person quality interviewing Carolyn Sorio. Carolyn is in Seattle and Dave is in Salt Lake City. And they're talking about her full time practice. Well, I'd like to have resolution for the inside cases, you know. But like for me, don't get on your soapbox and start talking about like let's get our pitchforks and you know because no one listens and let's just go after the guy who's in the belief. It's just not that simple. You know, in 2025, people are still not victims of crimes are not police. And it's like they don't want to come forward and this is why. They don't want to have to, you know, say what they were wearing or what they were doing or whatever. And it's even though there's years and a half come quite a distance, there's still so much more. And show art at the very end. This should drop this week. So brand new. And this is not we actually have it for this show. That's an example of the Q&A. They actually put their iPhones in front of each other. They were on Riverside, so you could actually see each other and you know react. But and then we ended it together and it's something for videos. Oh, well, and talk. So you want to pick a location that's relevant to the show. There's automatic digital entry sequences and images. And you want to show something as you want. So this is selfie stick. But if you have somebody that can run the iPhone for you, you want to do that. You want a Bluetooth connection to the lav mic for your iPhone if you're using an iPhone. But here's an example of the walking talk. This is Dave Polly with his latest uh, podcast, which is called The Minute Triangle, which is the story of a guy who got lost in the woods and was found 5 years later dead. So, so this is an example of walking talk.
Hey, Dave Colley from the Let's Find the Podcast. Yeah. I think people ask if I could make some of the sound recordings as part of the podcast available for listening separate somewhere else. Here's the deal. I'm going to try to do that, but I need something from you. I need to grow the show. I need more people listening, and frankly, more people following this later. So if you would share the show with someone you can find your friend, get them to follow both the show and our page. I would be asking my fans to get some of these one-time exercises uploaded for the YouTube. Sound like a deal? Please do it. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
So the dual purpose is doing a marketing message as he's doing a walking talk, which is something we actually did with the show. We actually uploaded the nature sounds that we included in the long form narrative because he recorded coyotes, he recorded all of these wonderful nature sounds, some of them hours long, and we uploaded them for people to be able to listen to the rain, type of thing. But that's the walk and talk. Now he actually edited video on the front and the back side of that. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that, especially if you're flipping it around and showing, right? So it's not you don't have to have strong editing ability to do it, but it's something easy to show something. So this is the host monologuing about something. Want to show something in the background, and this was done using the green screen in the Instagram. So the audio is good because I had to screen grab the video. So you don't see your him as well, but that's because of the screen grabbing the video. And let me set up here. So you've been finding podcasts about a guy who got died in the woods on this rugged trail. There was a girl, a 14-year-old girl who went missing in the same area not long after this podcast wrapped. So this is him talking about that.
From the podcast, so let me draw your attention to some breaking news today. There is a search going on right now for this 14-year-old kidnapped Mexican Lucian County missing woods. Let me show you exactly where. Okay, here you can see the Highland Trail beginning in this area. Maya was last seen when she separated from her family to go use the restroom. At some point yesterday, she's been missing overnight. She checked out today. If you or anybody know But I was traveling through this area in the last 24 hours, and I had seen my application to the sheriff's office would really like to hear from you. This is not an area where volunteers can find research because it is so deep into the eyewitness wilderness. But we are tracking this situation and hoping for good news today as the search continues.
Okay, so that shows something. He has a map that he can show. He has a press release from the sheriff's office, and he uses a green screen behind you, and you're using skills to show something. She was found a few hours after the post. Audio grants. So I'm not sure what order these were, but I'm going to put three on here. I'm sure we've heard of audio trends. These were done in Headliner and three different types of students. So this is what I'm going to play first.
The air feels stifling. I sit in the driver's seat of a small Honda crosser, pulled into a parking stall at an apartment complex not far from the mouth of Ogden Canyon. It's the same place where Terry Harper lived at the time of his arrest in 1987. It's the apartment complex where police found a suede jacket, possibly belonging to Shirley Warren, when they searched Terry's unit in the rape investigation. Terry Harper chose to move back to 2020 after he left prison, following a short stint at a house. And step out of the car, pull up, and walk toward one of the three-story buildings. Listen to Cold, season 3 exclusively on Amazon Music, included with Prime.
Yeah, Cold's no longer on Amazon Music. So that was Headliner only, and different styles. This one's from the Letter podcast. She says, well, he wants to give you a letter. For some reason, she told me that night, and I just looked at her and said, I've waited 22 years for that letter. Every August 28th, every single August 28th, I think. Does he know what today is? You know, does he even think about that? Does he care? You know, that had always been in my mind. And so I said, I want the letter. I want it. And she said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. And Headliner lets you put in the show art at the end and fade it in, and they can use the play music also. So that's right within Headliner. One more.
Marilyn's mind rests, picture not processing. She pushed the most intrusive out of her head. Eric had gone from hand, tent, waterproof jacket, extra food, all these things. But Marilyn knew none of them would make any difference if he lost his footing on the soggy grass and somersaulted over the edge of the cliff. She hung on him and glanced across the room at the clouds in the Pacific, pausing to wonder if they might be the last she would ever receive from the man she considered her soulmate, Eric Robinson. Then, Marilyn picked up the telephone again, dialed decaf, and reported her husband missing. Find and follow us by searching for Lisa. That's UINCA. Friday on Apple Podcasts.
Picture of her. Picture of her.
So,
Picture
all
of
of
her.
those,
Picture of her.
Picture of photo.
Take a picture of her.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and then we have the monologue.
Just
So this is where the poster producer
with the camera here.
What are you asking me to do?
Huh?
What are you asking me to do?
Just take a picture because I'm doing live telecast.
I don't want to do that. I'm sorry.
Does not need to be in a studio. In fact, it's better if not. This first one is Felix Bonnell and Unsolved Mysteries. This first season was about a plane that crashed in 1963. It was a plane chartered on Northwest Airlines full of military members, and it disappeared over the from Alaska. And they never found it, and they never really looked for it because things were men and women service members missing, but not in action. So that's the second person.
It wasn't that long ago, the MH17 jet disappeared out of the ocean. So it's like millions of dollars looking for years, no success. This plane was smaller, longer time ago, think it's about 2,000 feet apart. So we go back and talk to experts, try to figure out what happened when you search for the claim in 1963. We go through the documents, we talk to experts now to figure out what it would take in order to map the search. How much it cost? What would it take to find DC 17, 3,000 feet apart? Then, if we did actually find it, what can we learn? Is there not there? And then what was? There's enough clues left all these many years later. To tell us what might happen. Like, when the effort of searching for exactly what was done, we can definitely hold more impact to it.
So Felix had very little videos, so see some archival video in that, and then some archival photos that which was used to, show movement in that. That one was edited on Premiere, but we use this on our social channels. This next one is Amy Donaldson, and it was shot on an iPhone. And if I had to tell you anything, it would be use my Bluetooth mic on your iPhone. But I give points to Amy because she's at a location that makes sense for the podcast. It was about a Major League Soccer team that, despite losing its owner, its coach, and being in the year 2020, made a deep run into the playoffs. So here's that one. So I believe that one was shot on her. It was shot on the iPhone and then maybe started to so some things you can do if you didn't do on the so where do these go? Like I said at the beginning, this is about discovery. And I appreciate, I don't know if you all have watched David Arizona talking about the evolving years study. But he said video doesn't necessarily eat up audio, but it helps it get discovered. And the demographic was 72% of first year listeners discovered a podcast on YouTube when they moved audio only. So that's the first year listeners. 68% of long timers did the same thing. So you want to be there, even though video is not a thing. So where do these go? They go on YouTube Shorts. That means you need a YouTube channel. And if you do a Q&A with a producer or another host, and you're talking about episode 1, put 10 minutes in that conversation up. And then use a few shorts of that to make your social links. You want to put it on Instagram Reels. You want to put it on Facebook Reels. You want to use them for posts on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. You've got to be all of these places on Instagram. And I would caution you against making all of these channels look the same. So you actually want to deploy a lot of these different things so that you can shake up. Or one day you just post a photo that's relevant to your case or your investigation, and just make sure you're not looking the same everywhere, because that annoys a super fan. If they want to follow you on TikTok and Instagram, they don't want to be fed the same thing. So try to shake it up. So, all right. So if you actually remember video, some of the same things. You want to put longer interview clips on YouTube and TV show. Cut up into shorts, reels, and TikToks. TV show. Here's the thing, and we can talk a little bit more about this in the Q&A. But if you shot the video well, it could get some very interest and it could be used in its efforts. So yeah, it's a good idea to begin shooting video on your projects. And you don't have to be a genius to do it, but if you're feeling intimidated, you can hire
This
someone
was it
to learn
highlight
from you
them,
so you
and
can make
this is
And if
and this
you have someone who